how to control drive access with Google Sheets. So you can control in the sense you can add or delete access to anyone with Google account. So in order to do that, you will have to be the owner of the sheet or a file or a folder. So I was asked how to do by many of my followers. I also saw a lot of questions coming in different community forums related to that. So I thought it is better I can make a video to walk you through step by step on how to do it. All right, so let's see how can we do that. So by the end of this video, you will be able to write a script to clean the content in the sheet and update the sheet with the fresh content. And you can add or remove or edit any access to anyone with Google account through Google Sheets. So you can do that like bulk uh, at a time. You don't need to do each and every one, but you can have like 10 or 20 or 30, any number. You can bulk edit in one go, and you can change the ownership of the file or a folder to anyone with Google account. Okay, so before I show you how it works, so there is one thing you have to understand. So in this video, I will not be able to show you how to transfer ownership between Gmail accounts, because while I was preparing the script, I came to know that it doesn't work on Gmail accounts. So you should have a Google Workspace account to do that, and I don't have a Google Workspace account. Okay, so I will not be able to show you, but I will show you how to write a script. You can do that by yourself. All right, let's go to the demo now. All right, so this is the sheet I prepared. So I have already added a folder ID. You can see the folder ID from here. So you just need to copy this one, paste it here. And by the way, I provided the uh, link to this template in the description. You can get it from there. All right, let's see how it works now. So this is the script. I'm going to show you step by step on how to do it by yourself. So I created a custom menu. I'm not sure why it is not showing up now, but anyways, so the first one is uh, we're going to get the access details of this folder. So you can see this email ID has the owner access. So for example, I would like to add access to this one. So as of now, this email ID is not added in the folder. So this is the folder. If you check the manage access, only one email ID, the owner is available, no one else. So if I change this to, for example, editor, set access. Okay, now it has changed the access to editor. So if I click on manage access, you can see this email ID got the editor access. So likewise, you can add any number of email IDs, any number in the sense, maybe we might have a limit on that, but I'm not sure what's the limit. But you can add bulk email IDs and give or take access to any files and folders that you own. So let's say now I want to change the access to viewer. I just update it here, viewer, and click on set access. Okay, now this email ID has viewer access. If I again open the manage access, you can see viewer. Okay, so we can also delete it. Yeah, the keyword I used is remove. So if I click on, if I enter remove and run the script again, set access. Okay, this will remove the access for that email ID. All right, great. I hope you understand how it is working. So in this video, we are going to see only for one folder ID. You can add folder ID or file ID, but we are going to do it only for one item. So you can do it for multiple items. You can fetch all the files or folders which you are owner and fetch them into sheet, and you can update the owners or any access related in one go. But we're not going to do that in this video. We're going to keep this very simple. We're going to do that with just one, for only one folder ID. So if you want me to show uh, for bulk, changing bulk access to different folders and files, you can reach out to me, or you can try it by yourself. If you're stuck anywhere, you can reach out to me. So this can be helpful when if you are using Google Workspace account and one of your employees leaving your organization. So you would like to transfer all the files or folders owned by that person to the person who is replacing them. Right? So you can create some like a script. You can run it like a on the last day of that person, like a exit script, and that would fetch all the files and folders the person who is leaving, and you can bulk transfer ownership to anyone. So that will be useful for any small scale or large scale companies. All right, so let's get into the video and let's see how to do this. All right, so the first one we are going to see is how to fetch access detail. Okay, so I'll create a new sheet now. Let's call this as drive access YT. So first, let's add the folder ID here. So from in cell B2, we're going to add the folder ID. So this would be the folder ID, right? So from here, we're going to write a program to fetch the folder ID and give the access. I mean, all the email IDs who has the access. So first, let's define the sheet. Spreadsheet app dot get active spreadsheet. Okay, so let's change the name of the script as well. All right, so now we got the active spreadsheet. Now we need to get the sheet one. Okay, so I will call it as sheet info is equal to sheet dot get sheet by name. Okay, so you can name it whatever you want, but in this video, I'm just leaving it to the default name. So function, let's call it as access uh, get access. Okay, so we would require this cell and fetch the value in the cell. So we have identified the spreadsheet, and within that spreadsheet we have identified the sheet. Now we need to identify the cell value. So sheet info, what should I call? Maybe folder ID is equal to sheet info dot get range. Range would be first row, second column dot get value. Okay, let's see how it works. So console dot log of folder ID. Let's save this. Okay, so if I run it, I should get the folder ID in the logs. I guess it will ask me to review permissions. Yeah, okay, right. So we were able to fetch the folder ID now. So next what we need to do is let's go to the drive documents. Um, so you can see here you can fetch the files, all the files that you have access to, and there are different methods, and you know you can achieve a lot of things if you go through this document, right? So in this video our agenda is specific, so we are going to stick to that, but learn to review the documents. So if you do that, even though you don't know something, you will be able to find that in the document. So even if you even after reviewing the document, if you don't understand, then you can reach out to help. All right, so let's go to Drive app. So what we need to do is we need to first fetch the folder by ID. Right, this is the one. Okay, get folder by ID. So we already have the ID in our sheet. So what we have to do is folder is equal to drive app dot. Oh, let's do one thing. Let's define folder here. Folder is equal to so before this we need to add the drive app. All right. So this is done. Now we were able to fetch the folder by ID. So the next step is let's go to the folder docs. Now first step is let's get the owner. So this is the function to get the owner. Then we can get the list of editors, list of viewers. Okay, so let's say owner is equal to folder dot get owner, right? So let's log owner and see what happens. Okay, so we are getting something. So this is different items within the function. So we need to get the email ID. So you'll have to use this uh, get email function. So similarly, you have other items as well. Like you can get the name of the user, uh, user in the sense the owner. You can get their photo, URL, etc. So we don't need all of them. So we just need to get the email. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, you see that now we are able to see the owner of the folder. So let me close this one. All right, so what I will do is I will write here as email access. So we are going to paste all the access related information here. So in order to do that, what we have to do, so we use the get value function to retrieve the uh, cell value, right? So we have to use set value to insert a value. So again, what we have to do is um, sheet info dot get range. So the range would be from row 4 and till column 2, sorry, column 1 dot set value. The value would be owner. Okay, let's run it. Okay, you see that now the email ID is has pasted in the column 1. So now I would like to paste the access name also here. So do the same thing, but instead in column 1 you'll have to do column 2. So I'll call it as owner. So if I run it, okay, done, right? So it's clear. So now let's do one thing. Let's do the same with editors and viewers. So what I will do is let me add another email ID as editor and one more email ID as viewer. Alright, so now let's write the program to fetch editors and viewers. So in order to get editors, this is the function get editors. Alright, so where editors is equal to, let's copy and paste this here. So you cannot get email ID from this function. I mean, you cannot do similar in the similar way of getting email IDs per owner, because owner will be one person, whereas viewers and editors will be multiple, right? So you'll have to do a for loop. So for where I is equal to 4, because we need to paste it. Okay, not 4, 5. Let's do one thing. Let's keep it simple. I is equal to 1 and I is less than or equal to editors dot length I plus plus. Okay, so what happens here? So from first person to the last person, it is going to loop and fetch editors and paste it in the sheet. Okay, so if the editors if there are 5 editors, it is going to loop 5 times, because editor dot length will give you 5. All right, so okay, so what can we do now? Uh, let's copy this one simply. Okay, so this will be from column I, sorry, row 5, right? So let's manually add that. Editors dot I dot get email. Okay, let's see what happens now. Is there anything wrong? Okay, okay, let's try 0. Okay, let's do one thing first. Let's log editors and see if we are getting anything. Okay, so we have some information here. So it is in array. So what I'm doing is, let me try the length of editors is 1. Okay, so if I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to length. Okay, let's see editors of I, what it will provide us. It is giving undefined. Okay, so if it is 0, let's see. Okay, so if it is 0, it is providing the value. All right, so what we can do is, because yeah, it array always starts with 0, so the first item should always be 0. Okay, now we got the second email ID, which is great. We don't need this log anymore. So what I'll do is, let me change the access of the second email ID also to editor. So now we have two lengths, so we cannot start from 5. So the yeah, we have to start from 5, but the second one should be pasted in 6. So we cannot manually do that. So it should be dynamic, because we never know what would be the length of a folder or a file, right? So instead of 5, let's do one thing, 5 plus I. Let's do that. So the first item will always be 5, because 5 plus 0, 5 plus I, the first item of I is 0, 5 plus 0 is 5, and the second item I will be 1, and 5 plus 1 is 6, right? So let me run it again. Okay, you see that? So you can add any number of items here. All right, so let's do the same for viewers. Is equal to folder dot get viewers, and same thing we are going to do. So let's do one thing, instead of adding 5, it is better we add last row. So we always get the last row of the sheet. So info sheet dot get last row. So we don't need I anymore, last row plus 1. Okay, let's do the same with let's create a similar loop for viewers. So this would be, instead of editor, this would be viewers, and sheet info last. Okay, so this is, everything is fine. So here, instead of editor, we are going to put it as viewers. Okay, let me change everything. um, let me change these two people access to view. Okay, done. So let me run it again. Okay, so this is not pasting properly, because I have added a last row. Um so the first item should always paste last row plus 1. So if this is the last row, then email ID will be pasted next, because I have added last row plus 1. Whereas the second one, the access should be pasted along, beside the email ID. So it should be last row, not last row plus 1. Okay, let me run it again. Okay, this is good. This is good. So now what I want to do is, I don't want to keep appending at the bottom, right? So this is not correct. So I would like to change this, clear this first, the whole item, and paste them again. So for that, what I will do is, we can simply write a code sheet info dot get range dot 4 comma 1, which is the first uh, the row from which where we want to delete, so this cell to this cell. Okay, and sheet info dot get last row comma get last sorry, I think I can simply add 2, which gives the column to clear. Okay, let me run it now. So this thing should be clear now. Okay, you see that? Okay, I'll run it again. Okay, this is great, right? So now you know how to fetch the email IDs of a specific folder or a file, and whichever access they have, you're now able to see it. Okay, so the first part of this instructions or whatever we call tutorial is done. So now we are going to see change in access. So we are going to change the access of people of the folder or file. So I keep mentioning folder and file because it's just a simple keyword. You just need to change it in the script to fetch details of a file instead of a folder. Okay, now let's look at how to change the access um, of a file or folder. All right, so now we are going to update the access for these people. So these two have view access, right? So let's change them to edit access. And so let's do all the accesses. So I'll write a code for ownership transfer as well. But first, I'll create a column called change to. Okay, so let's look at revoking access first. So we have a function called revoke permission and user. So we are going to use that. So before that, let's create a function. I'll call it as set access. Okay, so from the same sheet, we're going to check if the change to is blank or if we have anything here. Okay, so for that, let's pick up the last row, and from 4 to last row, we're going to loop and find out if the change to has anything. So for that, so first let's create a variable called last row sheet dot info dot last get last row. Okay, for I'm going to create a variable called I, which is 4. So because we are going to start the row from 4, I is less than or equal to last row I plus plus. So we are going to increment the I for each loop. So let's remove access for this person. If let's create one more variable called change to is equal to info sheet dot get range. Oh wait, not here. Here. Okay, get range um, of I comma column 2 got dot get value. So we're going to get value of column change to column. Okay, so if sorry, so I forgot to add this one. Change to is equal to sheet info change to value. So if change to, okay, if in change to is not null, we're going to check for each item. Change to is equal to remove. Okay, so if change to is equal to remove that particular item or email, we're going to reward access for that person. So sheet info dot get range I comma 1 dot get value. Okay, let's create a variable called email, and email is equal to sheet info dot range of I column 1 dot get value. So revoke permission, this is what we are going to do. Revoke permission. Okay, folder got revoke permission. So let's run the function and see. Run set access. Mm, invalid argument file dot owner. Mm, so let's see what is the issue. Let me log I so that we will know the row. Okay, row it is saying 4, which is wrong. Let me remove this one. Okay, let me try it again. Why it is picking 4? If change to is equal to remove. Okay, let me add one more equal to. Okay, done. All right, so I think this access is removed for one of the email IDs. So for this email ID, the access is removed, but let me check. Okay, I still see the access. Let me, okay, remove. Okay, my bad. Sorry, so this should be 3. My bad. I am looking into column 2. I should have looked into column 3. Okay, now let me check the access. Looks like it has worked. Okay, you see that? Now you don't see that email ID. Okay, so now, but this is not updated. So we have to update once this is done, right? Once the access are changed, we have to update that. So what I will do is I'll just run this function at the end of this function. So get access will be run after set access. Okay, so if I run it again, so nothing will happen, but the get access function should run. Okay, it is saying no such user. That is fine. So let me run get access first. But from the next time, it will run properly. As of now, because there is no user, that is the issue. So this time we'll have to remove column 3 as well. So in get access, we are clearing only till row column 2. We have to clear till column 3. Okay, let me run it again. Okay, done. This is perfect. All right, so we have created a program for remove, but now let's create a program for edit. Okay, so else, let's create else. Okay, let's create else if change is not equal to remove. Okay, let's write a program for view. Okay, so if it is viewer, I want to make the function as I want to upgrade them to editor. Okay, so this is the program for editor, not remove editor. Yeah, right. Add editors. So we can add multiple editors at the same time, but in this example, I would like to add only one editor. Okay, folder dot add editor. Instead of user, this will be email. Okay, this should be else if. Okay, fine. Okay, so if I make this editor and run the program, set access. Looks like it did not work. Maybe I did not add it here. Okay. Oh, sorry. So this should be editor. I'm sorry. So this should be editor. What am I doing? So this should be editor. So if change to is editor, this should change to editor. Why am I getting confused? Okay. Okay, so invalid argument permission value folder dot editor add editor. So is this is the right one? Okay, let me check the email ID console.log of email. Okay, my mistake. So this email should be looping here. So earlier I did not add the email here. I mean, I did not define email here. So I was I, I defined it in under remove. Now I moved it top. So this should work now. Okay, all right. So you can see it has changed to editor. Let me check the access. Great. Now you can see it is editor. So now I would like to change access to viewer. Okay, so if change to is viewer, uh, add viewer. Okay, this is the one. So there is a problem if the viewer, if you want to change from editor to viewer, it doesn't work. But from viewer to editor, it works. It doesn't work in vice versa. All right, so let's see. Just once it is once we confirm it, then we will know. Yeah, you see that it is still editor. It is not changing. So in this case, what we have to do is first we'll have to revoke the access of this user, and then we'll have to add them again. Okay, so first we'll have to revoke access of this person and add them as viewer. Now let's try it. Okay, and I did not add the viewer, sorry. Okay, done. So you can see that now the access has changed to viewer. Okay, done. So instead of if, let's do one thing else. Similarly, changing ownership is also the same, but like I said before, it doesn't work on Gmail accounts. Set owner, will find a function called set owner, this one. So if you type here owner, we'll have to write a similar program. Okay, so you'll have to set the owner, but like I said, it doesn't work, but I will just run it for you. Okay, you'll get this error, but that is fine. Hopefully it will work in, actually I saw this function working in Google Workspace, but not in Gmail account. Anyways, let's remove this one. So what if you want to add a new email ID? Okay, so I would like to give them editor access. Okay, you'll have to add it in change to, and access should be null. So in this case, so this function will work. So if I run the program, okay, you see that they have the editor access. So let's remove them again and give them viewer access. So this might throw an error because this email ID is not available, right? So, but let's check it. It says no such user. Okay, for this case. Okay, let's create one more if condition here. If um, I'll call it as access. So what I'm trying to do is, okay, so for this email ID, if the access is empty, so we should consider it as a new email ID. They don't have any access before, so we are freshly adding them, right? So in that case, if okay, if access is equal to null, we would directly add the email ID. Else if is not equal to null, okay, let's run and see now. Okay, you don't see that error anymore, and you can see this email ID is added to the folder. Okay, done. All right, so that's all about this video. So we covered how to fetch access details of a folder. So I keep saying file or folder, right? So it's very easy to switch. Instead of folder, you just need to mention file. That's all. But everything is the same. All right, so we were able to fetch all the email IDs and their respective accesses with get access function. And also we have created one more function called set access to bulk change the access of email IDs. You can either add a new email ID or change the access of an existing email ID. The only problem here is for Gmail accounts, you are not able to transfer the ownerships. But in Google Workspace, you will be able to transfer the ownerships. So, and one more thing you have to know, remember that this works if you're the owner of the folder or a file. All right, so I hope everything is clear for you. If you have any further questions, you can reach out to me. And like I said, go through the documentation, and you can do many things with the documentation. You can even extract all the files you are the owner, and you can bulk change the ownership of all your files and folders. I'm providing my contact in the description. You can also reach out to me on my Discord server, and I also work as a full-time freelancer. If you have any projects for me, you can reach out to me. This is the end of the video, and if you like this video, please subscribe so that you can get or follow more content related to Google Sheets. And if you want me to work on any Sheets tips, or if you have any questions that I you want me to make a video on, you can post that in the comments. All right. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.